What's up, you guys? Welcome to episode 3 of Kouch Chronicles. I'm Kelsey.
I'm Kristen.
And we're diving into dating today. So buckle up because
Whoa.
things are going to get spicy. For those who are new here, we are starting a dating series where we each are going on at least one date a month. And we're going to recap those dates whenever they happen.
Yeah.
And we both have gone on our January dates. So we're going to kind of recap those and then just see where it takes us.
Yeah. You're going to go first.
Are you ready?
No, I'm nervous. I don't like talking about my dating life.
I know. It's scary, especially because I'm pretty sure they're both going to be watching this.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, if I went on a date with you this year at all, turn it off. Turn it off right now. Also, for everyone listening, Shadow is right here. He is chewing his bone, being a perfect little angel. So if you hear anything weird in the background, it's him.
It's our mascot.
Also,
go Lions!
I knew it. You'll see Shadow has his custom Lions bandana on. We're both in our Lions gear.
Who got him that?
You did.
Auntie Kelsey did.
Auntie Kelsey did. Detroit Lions playoff win.
First one in our lifetime.
I don't have words.
I know.
It's so exciting.
I know,
I could have cried when they won.
You're going to spend the next few days watching highlights. I bet you anything.
I honestly feel like I need to vomit, but like out of excitement. No, it's okay. I can get through this first.
All right. Without further ado, let's dive in.
All right.
So,
tell us about your date, Kelsey.
I went on a date last week.
What's his name?
His name is Neighbor Boy. We are not using anybody's real names in our dating series, so don't worry, boys. You're safe.
You'll know who you are, though.
Yeah, if you know, you know. I went on a date with Neighbor Boy, and this was not our first date. Neighbor Boy and I have been going on dates since September, I think.
Yeah,
it's been a few months.
Yeah.
And it's very like casual. Like he's dating other people. I'm moving to San Diego. There's no pressure.
Just you?
We. Whoa. We are moving to San Diego. So it's just a situation where we're just very much living in the moment. There's no plans. There's no expectations. There's no pressure. We're just enjoying our time together. So that's the background.
Nice and carefree.
Yeah, great guy. He's a man of his word. Like he says he's going to do something and he does it. And he's just a man, you know? And he's honest. Anyways, please don't get a big head about this. Boy.
Wait, don't. First of all, because I know you will. Kelsey has dated quite a few boys that have not been the best people ever in the world.
I would argue and say maybe even some of the worst people in the world.
Yeah, I would agree. And I've hated them. Hated them.
Yeah.
Hated them.
And you don't hate Neighbor Boy.
No, and I don't. That's what the point of me saying all this is.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
But like I do, I ramble.
But also, there's plenty of time, Neighbor Boy, so.
Yeah, don't fucking test me.
Don't.
I'm just kidding.
Let's just. Oh, anyways, Neighbor Boy is a planner, and this is one of the things that I really like about him. He knows what he wants to do. He makes the plans. He makes reservations. He'll make 2 or 3 reservations, and then whichever one I want to go to in that moment is the one that we do.
Yeah.
And he just is a man. Anyways, Neighbor Boy took me to dinner. And we went to this Mexican place. It was pretty good. Good vibes. It was actually really funny. A lot of funny things happen at dinner. We just laugh a lot when we hang out. And then he took me to virtual reality.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude.
You have been talking about that for a while because he's wanted to do it for a while.
Yeah. He's been wanting to do it for a while. We finally did it. It was so fun.
Was it? I think I'm scared to do something like that. I don't know why. Scary. I think I'm just scared to have all of that gear and the goggles and stuff and not being able to see real life.
Yeah. Well, they put my stuff on first, and little did I know, Neighbor Boy was taking pictures and videos of me, and I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Because I have the headphones on. So he's talking to me, and I'm just going, "Where are you? Where'd you go?" And he's
I can picture it in my head.
And he's going, "I'm right here," but I'm not answering because I can't hear him.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, there's also a video from this whole experience. It will be posted on the Instagram. But yeah,
please post it.
It was so fun. We did a zombie apocalypse, which was scary. Zombies come out of nowhere, and it's crazy because you can see each other, but in the character form. They put these things on your wrists and your ankles, and it's they give you a big gun. Yeah. You have to pick the weapon that you wanted. It was so cool.
You had to pick the weapon that you wanted?
I was like,
Like, it
which
was-
one's
like
the
you
most
held it?
automatic? Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, it wasn't a real weapon.
Well, I know, but like they had like the shape of them.
Yeah. And
That's
they were
crazy.
heavy. I was like,
Wait,
tired.
how many different weapons do they have? Like, what could you choose
I think
from?
4.
Okay.
There was like a rifle. I don't know anything about guns. I chose whichever one was the most automatic.
Like, so an automatic gun? I don't know anything
What's the
about
difference
guns
between
either.
automatic
Like a
and
machine gun?
semi-automatic?
I have no idea. Let's not get into that.
Okay, yeah, we don't need to talk about that. Yeah, I chose the one that just required the least amount of reloading because that seemed like a lot at the time. So yeah, it was super fun, very scary. Poor neighbor boy. I think I was screaming into the microphone pretty much the entire time. But I think
I'm sure he loved it, actually.
I think that it may have been high pitched enough that it like cut out, you know, and it's like too loud and it cuts out. You'll see in the video that I'm posting on Instagram that happened. I also a few times fell to the floor with my hands over my head because I was scared, but it wasn't real. So
I feel like that would have been me the whole time.
he was like, I almost invited Kristen, but he didn't.
Could you imagine I'm a third wheel on your date?
Well, he was like, Kristen and like maybe a guy that she's talking to. I was like,
who? At the time, who?
at the time, yeah, it would have just been Kristen. But anyways, we have to go back and do it because it was so fun. It was so
try it.
fun. And they have different games too. So they have like Squid Game type
Do they
games.
have like nice ones?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
But when I tell you, I was dripping sweat. Like
Because you're like physically running around, aren't you?
You're right. Yes. you're like ducking. There's like lasers at one point that you have to like duck under.
Oh my god.
You die sometimes, and then you have to like go like this to heal each other.
That is crazy.
At one point, neighbor boy was like shoving me around because the lasers were coming, and I like didn't know what was going on. So he's like grabbing my vest. He's like, over here.
Oh my god, like carrying you through the game.
Yeah, it was so fun. It was a 10 out of 10 date. I really enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun. We like took our head things off, and we're both like dripping sweat.
Oh my god, at least he was too.
Yeah, that's true. He sweats a lot, actually, in general. I'm so sorry, neighbor boy.
Oh my god.
But
Teeth.
it's not bad. It's not bad. And then
I had foot surgery in May, and now the screw that they put in my foot is coming out, and it hurts really bad. And I was like limping at the end of this. It hurt so bad. So neighbor boy carried me to the car and took me home. And, yeah, so it was a really good date, and
fantastic start to my January. I will say I have all my dating apps are on pause right now, not for any reason other than the last situationship I was in was traumatizing, and I was like, I need a break. And neighbor boy, like, it's a long story that we'll get into another time. Neighbor boy and I had already been hanging out, so I was like, well, keep hanging out with neighbor boy. And like, he's quite literally our neighbor, so it's just very convenient.
Yeah, and he's always been very respectful, I feel like.
Yeah, great guy. So anyways, my February date will probably also be neighbor boy because unless I meet somebody out in the wild, I'm not using any dating apps right now. I need some time
It's important.
I don't know.
Dating
I
apps
just
suck.
like can't imagine putting myself in a position that I was in where like I'm very emotionally invested.
Yeah,
I know
it's
that
hard.
eventually I will, but
Especially
right
now knowing that we're moving.
exactly. What's the point in like meeting people in LA when we're moving in a couple months?
Yeah.
So, but it was a really good date. Way to go, neighbor boy. I don't know how you're going to top it, but I know you're going to try.
Yay.
Yeah, so that is my January date. It was, I would say it was 10 out of 10. I actually had a really good time. I was really happy afterwards, and I'm excited to see what the next one's going to be.
I know. I'm excited to see if it's going to be with him again or with someone else. I imagine it'll be with him again. But you never know.
I know, I could meet someone out and about.
It's a whole month.
Yeah.
Shadow said that he likes neighbor boy.
Just so everybody knows, we just had to crop out right before that because she accidentally said his real name.
I actually, was that the only time I've said that? I'm nervous that I said it.
No, I think I would have caught it if you said it before.
I think so too.
Anyways, it's Kristen's turn because this was a first date. So
Yeah,
I'm
it
like
was.
not that mine wasn't exciting, but I feel like this is more exciting because it was a first date and I don't know this guy and she didn't know this guy and tell us everything.
I'm so nervous to talk about it, you guys. I'm so nervous.
Just be honest.
Okay.
It's fine.
I'm so nervous.
You can do this. You
Okay.
can do it.
We're going to call him rugby player.
Rugby boy.
Hey, if you're watching this,
please turn it off right now. He followed our Instagram account, so please, if you were watching or listening to this, I need you to turn it off.
I think you should keep listening.
No, stop. Okay. Well, I almost said his name is.
No names, no names.
So we're gonna call him Rugby Player. And we met through Hinge. Because I knew we were moving to San Diego, I set my location on Hinge to our future new neighborhood.
Smart.
Just to kind of see what was out there.
I get
I
it.
didn't plan to actually like connect with anyone and like actually go out because it's still like a 2-hour drive from here without traffic. So I'm like, I just wanted to like prospect, see the recruits.
See what we're working with, you know?
Yeah, get a roster put together. Just kidding, I don't have one of those.
Me either. Actually.
Actually,
Shockingly.
genuinely, neither of us have a roster at
Good
this
for
moment in time.
us. This is like the happiest I've ever been, too.
Good. I know, I love that.
Men have just been ruining my life for so long.
But yeah, we've been chatting for a while. I obviously was honest about like when we matched on Hinge that I currently live like in Los Angeles, but like I am moving to San Diego like come March. And so he was like fully aware of that. I wasn't like going on and telling people that I lived in San Diego. Like no lie, was told, just to be clear. And so we've been chatting for a while, exchanged phone numbers on Hinge, texting for a while. He has a really busy schedule. Like he works 6 days a week, and I used to work 5. No longer. That's a different story.
We've like dropped some breadcrumbs the last few episodes about this, but sure, we'll get to it.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it, you guys. I got laid off from my job about a week ago.
But
And I can't stop making comments about it, but know that it's for the best. And honestly, that's all I'm going to say, just in case. Anything.
blessing in disguise.
Yeah, we have
and
a
I
lot
can
of
say
plans.
whatever I want.
Yeah.
It was a blessing in disguise.
I would have to agree.
I do have future plans coming. It's not like I'm in the middle of nowhere job-wise. So
Yeah, we're not like about to sign a new lease without any plan of her having a job. So
yeah. But so I'm pretty much free whenever. No. Just saying that. Okay.
lots of availability. Single. Her
So-
worst fear is first dates. But
Oh my
it's
god,
fine.
I literally hate them. But yeah, so it's just taking a while for us to like plan a date. And it's a long drive. Like, and I would never ask someone to like drive 2 hours for a first date. Just like I wouldn't drive 2
would.
hours for a first date. Like I don't know. I just feel weird about that. Like I'll meet you in the middle.
It does make it. It makes it so there's a lot of pressure. I feel like.
that's a really long drive for a first date of someone you meet on a
Yeah,
dating
I
app.
agree.
Like I'll meet you in the middle. That's no problem. But it turned out that we were going to San Diego like this weekend.
Girls' weekend
With our friends and staying the night. And so I reached out and told him, and I was like, hey, I'm going to be in your neighborhood. Like this weekend. Let me know if you're free, whatever. And so we planned a date for today. Today's Sunday. And yeah, it was great. That's it.
Shut up. Okay, where did you go? I dropped you off, but I don't remember.
Okay.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
But I don't know like what it is.
Yeah, so I made Kelsey drop me off because I didn't drive myself. We drove to San Diego the day before. So Kelsey dropped me off like she was my mom. And the whole morning and the whole way there, like, please, rugby player, if you're listening to this, don't take offense. It's just who I am as a person.
It's just her. It's her, not you.
Yeah, it's definitely me. I was like, Kelsey, I like can't go. Like I don't want to go. I was so anxious. It did not take my medication the night before, so like my anxiety was through the roof.
We're like getting ready. We woke up before everybody else to get
Yeah.
ready because she went to her date, and then
Yeah,
I
my
went and hung
date-
out with an old
Old
friend.
Yeah. My date was at 10 a.m.
Yeah,
Also.
which rugby boy. 10 a.m. is not brunch. That's breakfast.
Yeah.
You can't call it brunch. But we're getting ready, and every 5 seconds, I just hear. I I was like, dude, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great.
I was like doing breathing exercises. I was like,
go. This is the worst day of my life.
also that. I was being really dramatic. I was like, I just don't want to do this. Can I please stay? Is it too late to cancel? And it's like an hour before. I would never, by the way. So then Kelsey dropped me off. I literally get out of the car and I'm like, Kelsey, we can make a break for it.
She's like standing outside the car, like door is still open. Kelsey, I see him standing there waiting for her, by the way. I see him waiting. And she's like, we could still go. Like, do I have to go? I don't have to do this, right? We can still go. I was like, I will drive away. I will drive away with the door open. So I was like, you got this. You got this.
I just get really nervous.
It's okay.
But you know what? It was really nice. We went to a place called Cody's in La Jolla. It was like a really, really cute, like little brunch breakfast spot. First time I'd ever been there. First time I'd ever been in like this area of La Jolla, actually.
Me too.
And it was so cute. But he got there before me because I don't think they take reservations. So I think it's all like a wait list.
Yeah.
Depending on when you get there. And he had gotten there 20 minutes before we did.
It was a while.
Or I did.
She made him wait a little bit.
Yeah, I like to show up fashionably late to first dates. And by that, I mean like within 10 or 15 minutes of when it's supposed to start. But it depends what it is.
And it also wasn't a reservation, so I feel like it's
wasn't.
a little bit different.
Yeah. So he got there before me. He texted me, told me that he was going to get a table. And I get really bad social anxiety when someone sits down at a table at a place. 1, I've never been before. And 2, I haven't met before. And 3, I just hate looking like an idiot trying to find someone in a restaurant.
There's nothing worse.
Especially
You walk
when
in
you're
and you're
alone.
like, and on a first date too.
Yeah, especially
Ooh.
when you're alone and then like you just look like an idiot. And like you don't, but you do.
Yeah.
You feel like one.
Oh, I made neighbor boy pick me up our first date.
Yeah.
Because I was like, no, I'm not dealing with
yeah.
that.
So I had texted him and I was like, okay, can you let me know where you're sitting? Because I get really bad social anxiety. So I need to know where you are. I was completely honest. I was like, hey, like, please just let me know where you are.
This is what you're getting into with me.
Like, full stop. Like, I need help. And he was like, it was so nice. He was like, oh my God, like, yeah, just let me know when you're a few minutes out and I'll meet you out front.
And she still almost bailed.
Yeah, he was like, I'll meet you out front and like we can walk back in together. And I was like, no one has ever offered to do that for me ever. And I was like, that is so nice. Okay.
The bar is low, dudes.
Yeah, the
My
bar
dudes.
is low. So anyways, we pulled up. I'm gonna stop stalling.
Yeah, can we get to the nitty gritty? Because I have so many questions.
We pulled up. He walked me into the restaurant. We sat down and like we just chatted. We got to know each other. Had a good breakfast.
Was he like really easy to talk to?
Yeah.
Was it a lot of back and forth?
Yeah, it was. I feel like we've been texting like quite a bit, like almost every day, which is not something I usually like, especially when I haven't met someone.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've been talking so naturally back and forth every day that it just continued in person, and that doesn't always happen either.
No.
And I was really, really nervous that it wasn't going to.
Because then it's like you've been talking so much that if you don't like each other in person, you kind of have to say that.
Yeah.
Because this expectation of texting every day has already been set. So if you
Yeah.
didn't text every day, it would be weird.
Exactly, and that's why I don't like to text every day, especially when I don't know you. But I feel like we hit it off pretty well during the breakfast. It was really nice. Like, I don't know, we chatted a little bit about everything. Like, he's pretty funny, I'm funnier.
It sounds like there were a lot of laughs on
Yeah.
this date.
A lot of laughs, and then, like, I think we were at breakfast for, like, a little over an hour. And then, I mean, we were in a beautiful area, and he was like, do you want to, like, go for, like, walk, like, after this? Or, like, do you need to head out? And I was texting my friends because he had gotten up to go to the restroom. And I was like, so we just paid. He paid. He just paid.
Thank God.
Yeah. But he is waiting in line for the restroom, or he's totally bailing right now. And
I
just
think
totally
I said,
left me here alone.
I think I said that. I was
Yeah.
like, he's dipping out.
And I was like, that's fucking rude. Why would you do that to me? So
I
then
didn't
was-
actually think that for the record.
Yeah.
No, nobody would do that to
Yeah.
Kristen.
Oh, I'm sure they would. But so I was sitting there texting them, and I was like, I think we might go for a walk. I'm gonna wait to see what the vibe is. I'll let you know, because like
the plan was for Kelsey to come and pick me up, probably, or me to Uber wherever she was with our mutual friend. Um, and so he ended up coming back and asked if I wanted to go for a walk or if I needed to head out. And I was like, I will absolutely go for a walk. Like, let's go. So
Let's do.
we walked around La Jolla. We walked around like the little, like the cliffs with all the sea lions there and the little like La Jolla
Were there
Cove.
sea lions there?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and like the cove was right there too. So
Oh,
it was like
wow.
all the sea lions. We walked right by it. Like we were walking forever. And then wait, the coolest part, you guys, we're standing there like watching the sea lions, chatting, whatever. A little like mini pod. I think it was only like 2 or 3, but dolphins in the back swimming.
I just feel like that's a sign. It just feels like a sign. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm not gonna think that. I am not one that likes to get my expectations up at all, so I like to have none.
Did you guys hold hands?
No. Because, wait, this is the funniest part that I tell you. We're talking, and he said something, and I go, well, I don't even like people touching me. So.
Okay, also, I don't know if you guys can hear it. Shadow is snoring in the background. And I know that it's loud because I can hear it through my headphones.
I
I
didn't
couldn't
even
hear
hear
the
it.
fire alarm, but I can hear Shadow snoring.
Snores big.
Okay, so then he's like scared to touch you
Yeah,
after that.
and then after I said it, I was like, oh, shit. Like
Unless I like you,
yeah.
which I do.
But he like laughed and we were joking and I was like, haha, and then let's change the topic of conversation. Because to be fair, I don't like when people touch me.
No,
I'm not-
especially me.
Yeah, well, not especially you. We hug sometimes.
But every time,
You have to ask me.
every time we hug, do you want a hug?
It's about consent.
Yeah, okay. Like, I don't think we've ever hugged without talking about it first.
No, I don't think so. I just like, when it comes to love languages, physical touch, I think, is my very last one.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. It just makes me uncomfortable.
Do you hear the story?
Yeah, I hear
Okay,
him now.
Okay.
So I apologize to everyone listening. Anyway, so I said that little slip up. But anyways, let's move on. So we did not hold hands. And well, we did a little like side hug when we first met each other.
Oh.
Not like after during the walk. Oh my god, he's so loud.
I'll do anything to avoid a side hug. Side hugs are the worst.
But I think it's because like you first meet someone like what? But I think we were
you
both
guys
like,
have
what do
been
we
texting
do?
every day for like
I know,
weeks.
I know. But it wasn't as awkward as you think it was.
Okay.
Like it was.
I
Like, a
wish I
cute
would have
little-
seen. I wish I would have
know.
like driven slower by.
No,
but
I'm glad you didn't. So we were just walking around after I kind of slipped that one up on him. So I feel like he definitely was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna touch her."
Oh man, he probably was overthinking it so much
Yeah.
too.
So if you're listening to this, I apologize. That's not really what I meant. Like it was, but it wasn't.
She wanted to hold your hands.
No, I feel like my hands would have started sweating.
Story of my life.
So we just walked around and chatted for a while. This date started at 10 a.m. and didn't end until 1 p.m., 1:30.
It was long. I knew it was going well because it was long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if she didn't like this guy, she would have been like, please come pick me up like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I would have ended it. So I don't know. I feel like it was really nice. We like chatted about like a lot of things. I feel like we relate on a lot of things. He's a nice guy. Maybe I'll see him again. I don't know.
Okay, I have one question that I have been dying to ask you the whole entire day.
Okay.
Did he kiss you goodbye?
No.
What?
I didn't want to. And he was very nice and he drove me to where my friends were. He was like, I can drop you off because I was like, I need to Uber or whatever. And he was like, no, let me drive you. So like that was really nice. He opened the car door for me.
Take notes, boys. Open the freaking car door. How hard is that?
It's literally not hard at all. I literally was so confused. I was like, are we going to this car? And he was like, no, like this is my car. And he opened the door and I was like, oh. I even said like, wow, we opened the car door and everything? And he was like, well, yeah.
Do you want to hear something funny?
Yeah. Of course I do.
I went to breakfast with old friend
Yeah.
and he forgot what we were doing, I guess, and walks up to like the driver's side. I drove. Walks to the driver's side of my car and I'm like, oh, that's nice. He's going to open the door for me. Then he goes, oh, I'm not driving. Turns around, goes to the passenger side. I was like, at this point, you're right there. It would have been, it would have been so smooth of you
To just
to just open the door, because I would not have thought that you went to the wrong side. I
Yeah.
would have thought you were just being nice.
Yeah.
But
Oh my
like
God.
also knowing him, I would have been like,
What the hell are you
why
doing?
did you just do that?
Yeah.
But anyways,
That's funny,
in
yeah.
general, open the car door. I dated a guy, and the whole entire time that we were dating, which was like almost 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
I never once opened the car door, ever. Even like we go to the grocery
That's
store, he would
incredible.
open the car door. You know
I've
who
never
it was?
had that. Who?
A soccer player.
Soccer player. Oh.
Believe it or not.
I believe it. But soccer player, count your days. I'm just kidding.
Soccer player is definitely not listening.
He's not listening to this. But no, we did not kiss. He was dropping me off in the car. I like was not.
Oh,
about,
car.
I was not
Yeah.
about to like reach over, and he hadn't like. It was busy, and there were no open parking spots because it was all like parallel parking on that road. So he kind of just pulled off to the side and let me out. So it's not like he could have gotten out because he was technically in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
It
I was busy over there
was
today
really
too.
busy, and I even told him I was like, you could just pull off here, like let me jump out. And so he did, and like I wasn't about to be like, all right, like reach over.
I'm surprised that he didn't like try and make a move, but also not because he probably was terrified of you at this point and not
Well,
wanting to touch anybody.
Yeah, I literally told him I didn't like when people touched me, so
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Okay, so when's the next date?
I don't know. We haven't planned it yet.
You guys have talked.
Yeah. So, after I met up with Kelsey and our old friend, and then our other friend Gabby came and joined us. We then like headed out to come back home because we had to watch the Lions game. We had to watch the Lions win. I was like, I'll just text him when I get home.
Yeah.
And he ended up texting me like pretty soon into the car ride on the way back home. It was just like, hey, like I had a great time.
Shut up.
Yeah. Let me read it to you,
Yeah.
actually. This is what he said. He said, I had a really great time today. Thank you for taking time out of your girls' trip for me. Smiley face.
I like him.
It was really nice. So I obviously said, like, I wasn't expecting him to text me first, at least. I feel like we ended it and we knew we were going to talk to each other again. Like, it
Yeah.
wasn't like a, oh my gosh, did he like me?
Yeah, you just kind of knew. You
Yeah.
guys vibed.
Yeah. So, yeah, I texted back. Said I had a great time too. Like, thank you. We ended up getting coffee at one point too, or I got a matcha. And thanked him for both. And yeah, we've just been chatting ever since I left. So, it's okay.
Oh my God. Okay, well, maybe
also-
we need to make another trip to San Diego next month so that
Maybe.
you can have date number 2
Yeah.
with him.
I also have some juicy tea for everyone. No, I feel like you're gonna like it's fine. I have never dated an older
yeah.
man. So he is the first older man that I've dated, and it's not by a lot. Like I don't want people to listen and think I'm dating like a 50-year-old. I'm not.
But if you were, there would be nothing wrong with that.
technically no, but it's not something that I personally would do. I don't think, but I don't know. I mean, never say never.
Exactly. Exactly.
But I don't know. I feel like it was a nice change of pace, and I feel like all of the other guys that I've dated, you know who you are. They're all a bunch of children. Well, not all of them, but most of them. And like I just
Yeah.
feel like there was such a difference to me, an obvious difference to me between dating a younger man and dating an older
I
man,
could
and
not
that's
agree
just
more.
one date.
I could not agree more. Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
But I will say that doesn't always mean they're gonna be more mature or
No.
like
no,
I don't know,
no,
honest. And also, there are younger guys too. Like we
That's
have this
true.
friend Mooney.
yeah.
I wouldn't say that he's the most mature person on the planet.
No, I'm
but
so sorry, Mooney.
we love you so much. You're
Yeah.
literally our favorite person ever. As far as like romantic relationships go, that boy would like die for his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Like he is such a good partner to have.
Yeah.
He's gonna be such a good husband, such a good dad.
100%.
Like he is so emotionally intelligent and
Yeah.
like available.
Yeah.
He's incredible, and he's younger than both of us.
Yeah.
So it's
I
not
agree.
it's not always the case, of course. There's always exceptions, but in our personal experiences,
Yes.
we just prefer older men.
Yeah. And I feel like my like if my older friends from like college were listening to this, I always got made fun of for dating younger men.
And by younger, it was like a year. Like, it was just someone who was literally just like a year or
Yeah,
two
maybe
younger than
we
me.
should clarify that.
Yeah, let me clarify. I am only 28, but like in college, like whatever. And the tables have turned, and I don't know if I'll ever date a younger man. I don't know. It depends. It depends on what we just talked about.
Yeah,
But like,
there's a lot of factors.
yeah, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yay! I'm so glad that it went well, and I've been like dying to hear about this date.
I've been dying to talk about it. I'm gonna admit it. I was genuinely excited to
You
go on this
totally
date.
were. You totally were.
I was genuinely excited to go on this date. I even told him that prior.
Yeah.
Like, and he told me. We both told each other, like, oh, I'm excited. Like, excited to meet you. I'm excited to, like, see if this, like, continues in person.
Yeah, it just shows that you guys like had such good conversation and chemistry just over text, which is so hard to do.
Yeah.
That you just were excited.
You know what he told me?
What?
He's a big movie buff. And he said that sometimes he references things when he's texting me, and I just continue the conversation because I don't pick up that it was a reference to something.
Oh no.
I felt like an idiot.
I feel like if that happened to me, I'd start analyzing every single text.
Yeah.
Like Googling every text.
Yeah.
Like, what movie is this quote from?
He literally quoted something like yesterday or the day before, and I replied and I go, what does that mean?
Okay, but there's nothing, like, I'm not saying that this is the case with you guys, but there's nothing worse than being on a date with someone and you realize you have nothing in common.
Yeah.
And, like, I went on one, the worst date of my life, actually.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get into that another time. But he would, like, say something and I'd be like, no, but, like, have you seen this movie? And he'd be like, no. Like, with everything. At one point I said, I am so sorry that I don't know anything that you're talking about. I didn't know anything that he was talking about. Well, and first of all, I get in the car and I was like, I don't know, we were small talk. And I was like, oh, like, do you watch sports? And he's like, no. I was
Already
like,
a big red
I'm
flag
going to
for
jump
you.
out of
Yeah.
this moving car.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
We are super excited to continue this and see where it
Yeah.
takes us and see what fun topics we can come up with. So we will be posting on our Instagram at Kouch_Chronicles and fingers crossed on TikTok this week
Yeah.
at Kouch
We're working on it.
Chronicles. With updates about what we're going to talk about next, when we're going to release, everything like that. So follow us and we will see you next week.
Next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, well, that concludes episode 3 of Couch Chronicles.
Yay!
We had our first date recap,
Yeah.
and they were good. They were both good dates.
They were
I
good.
hope that it stays that way the whole entire year.
I know, me too. Try not to get my expectations up.